The psychology of loss. Why most customers leave too early. Every gaming operator understands the fundamental challenge: losing customers leave. But what if you could redesign that psychological response? What if, through strategic Feng Shui principles, you could transform the emotional impact of losses from frustration into motivation? The data reveals a startling truth: conventional gaming spaces inadvertently amplify loss stress through poor energy design. Meanwhile, venues implementing gambler psychology Feng Shui principles document Pai Fen Shi San Shi longer average session times and Pai Fen Shi or Shi Qi higher customer retention following losses. The 5 Feng Shui principles for loss recovery. Yi. The open hand energy flow, preventing cornered frustration. Traditional maze-like layouts create what Feng Shui masters call stagnant chi pockets, areas where negative energy accumulates after losses. Implementation strategy. Create circular pathways with no dead ends. Ensure all gaming stations have clear visibility to open spaces. Install subtle water features at pathway intersections to cleanse energy. Use arched walkways instead of sharp corners. Psychological impact. Open sightlines prevent the feeling of being trapped in a losing streak, while flowing pathways subconsciously suggest new opportunities ahead. The balanced element integration. Stabilizing emotional extremes. Each Feng Shui element corresponds to specific emotional states. Strategic balancing prevents the emotional volatility that follows losses. Element placement strategy. Wood elements, live plants, vertical lines, for growth mindset. Earth elements, stone surfaces, square shapes, for stability. Metal elements, metallic finishes, white colors, for clarity. Water elements, blue accents. Reflective surfaces, for flow. Fire elements, red details, triangular patterns, for controlled action. Energy effect. This elemental balance creates psychological resilience, helping customers maintain emotional equilibrium regardless of game outcomes. San. The strategic reset zones. Engineering recovery moments. Conventional venues often lack intentional spaces for mental resets, forcing customers to carry loss stress from one game to the next. Reset zone design. Create small, semi-private alcoves with comfortable seating. Position these zones with views of active, winning areas. Use calming green and blue color palettes and reset spaces. Provide complimentary beverages or amenities in these areas. Behavioral result. These designated energy recovery zones allow customers to psychologically reset without physically leaving the venue, dramatically increasing the likelihood of continued play. Su. The progressive energy layering. Building confidence through space. Most gaming floors present uniform energy levels, missing the opportunity to guide emotional progression. Layered energy design. Entry zone, high energy, bright lighting for initial excitement. Main floor, balanced, comfortable energy for sustained engagement. High stakes areas. Intense, focused energy for peak concentration. Recovery zones, calming, restorative energy for mental resets. Psychological journey. This intentional energy progression helps customers naturally transition from disappointment to renewed optimism without conscious effort. Wu. The symbolic victory cues. Subconscious win triggers. Strategic placement of victory symbols and success imagery creates psychological priming that counteracts loss frustration. Symbolic implementation. Display abstract art with upward moving patterns. Incorporate dragon or phoenix imagery in strategic locations. Use ascending numerical sequences in decorative elements. Position lighting to create natural halo effects around gaming stations. Subconscious effect. These subtle victory cues trigger what psychologists call success priming, keeping customers in a winning mindset even during temporary setbacks. The science behind the strategy. These Feng Shui principles work because they align with established psychological mechanisms. Circular pathways leverage the goal gradient effect, where visible progress increases motivation. Element balancing creates cognitive diversity that prevents frustration fixation. Reset zones utilize the fresh start effect, allowing mental recalibration. Energy layering employs context-dependent memory to associate different spaces with different mindsets. Victory cues trigger success imagery, which has been shown to improve actual performance. Measurable results from energy psychology. Venues implementing these gambler psychology Feng Shui principles consistently report Pai Fen Shi San Shi increase in average session duration. Pai Fen Shi Su Shi San higher rate of customers continuing play after significant losses. Pai Fen Shi or Shi Qi improvement in customer return frequency. Pai Fen Shi San Shi Pa increase in overall customer satisfaction scores. One Macau resort documented that their Feng Shui psychology implementation generated an additional Su Tian or Meiwen million in annual revenue simply by improving loss recovery rates. Implementation roadmap. Transforming your space into a psychologically optimized environment requires careful planning. Energy audit. Identify existing stress points and energy blockages. Customer flow analysis. Map how customers naturally move through emotional states. Zoned implementation. Start with highest impact areas first. Staff training. Ensure team understands the new energy dynamics, performance monitoring, track specific metrics related to customer behavior, beyond damage control, building loyalty through understanding. The most sophisticated application of these principles goes beyond merely keeping customers playing longer. It's about creating an environment that understands human psychology so thoroughly that customers feel genuinely cared for, even when they're losing. This level of strategic empathy generates something far more valuable than temporary revenue. It builds deep, lasting loyalty that transcends winning and losing cycles. Your next step in customer psychology mastery. While these principles can generate immediate improvements, true mastery requires understanding how to adapt them to your specific customer demographic, cultural context, and operational model. At mjcfs.com, we specialize in creating customized Feng Shui psychology solutions for gaming venues seeking to transform customer experience from the ground up. Our experts combine ancient energy principles with modern psychological research to create spaces that work with human nature, not against it. Ready to transform how your customers experience losses and wins? Visit our large-scale construction Feng Shui service at mjcfs.com to discover how psychological space design can become your most powerful retention tool.